watching Thrifty Kaniffy. Hello everyone and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at a Swiss Army knife, and I have for you today the Victorinox Huntsman. So the Huntsman is a 91mm 3.58 inch design, and it is 4 layers. The great thing about the Huntsman is that it is probably the best bang for your buck Swiss Army knife that you can buy. Normally these go for like $49.99 on both Chicago Knife Works and Smoky Mountain Knife Works, but on Amazon you can actually get these for $28.75. So at that price, they are truly the best bang for your buck knife to get the most tools for your money for the amount that you pay. Now again, I say this is a 15 function knife, and we'll walk through those. But this is typically model number 1.3713. Again, $28.75 on Amazon. So you get the red cellidor scales on this particular one, and then of course the Swiss Army shield. The back is just plain with the cutout for the corkscrew. And yeah, these will scratch up over time, but they are very handy and pretty durable. And you get the inlaid style shield on these newer models. I bought this in 2021, so it's definitely a newer model. But the first function you have is the key ring. They count that as a function. You can of course attach that to a lanyard or perhaps your keys. And then on the bottom we have the corkscrew. Now I've added the little screwdriver that did not come with it, but you can get these for about $1.50 and on Chicago Knife Works, and they just attach by screwing that on there, and they're great. It's a great little screwdriver for like if you have eyeglasses or something like that, for something you need a smaller flat head screwdriver. Works really well for that. But yeah, you can just attach that to that, and then your corkscrew option becomes a little bit of a holder there. Next up you have the reamer and awl blade, or punch, and you have a wedge-shaped blade on that. It's kind of sharp on one side but not the other. It just kind of comes to a wedge there. They're a very good point, so obviously you could use this for leather punch, or using that eye to thread something, or put a hole in something. It's a very useful blade. Next up you have the parcel hook. Now the parcel hook may not immediately seem like it's got a whole lot of functionality, but if you go and watch a video by Felix Imler, you'll find that there indeed is quite a number of things that you can do with this that are very helpful. Whether it's carrying plastic bags, or putting a spring on something, lacing your shoes, all sorts of different things that this can be used for. And you should go check out that video by him if you really were interested in all the different functions for the parcel hook. Alright, so let's move on to the top side, and we've got the 2-function blade here on the right. This is the 3mm flathead screwdriver, as well as the can opener. And the pull on that is about a 7.5. Locks up really well. And nice firm lockup. Really nice. Then on the opposite side, we have a 3-function tool. This has a half stop, so it stops in that position. And then it locks up very strongly in the open position. You have the wire stripper there, that little cutout. This is a bottle lifter. And then you've got the 5mm blade for your flat head blade. Okay, so moving on, we have the scissors next. So the scissors are the large style on this particular knife, and they are quite useful. They will cut very well. These particular scissors are just fantastic. They work exceptionally well. They aren't just some sort of toy here. And these are the larger sized ones, so pretty nice to get the larger ones. And they just kind of fold down and snap in there really good, and have good lockup. Say a pull of about 7. And then we have next to that the saw blade. There we go. You'll notice about the saw blade is that it's got a satin finish to it. It's not polished like the rest, but it has very aggressive teeth on there, serrated edges, and they do a pretty good job for small branches. The pull on that's about a 6, I'd say, but it locks up really well. Pretty comfortable to use, I would say. But yeah, really helpful for camping and, you know, just getting some small kindling together, things like that. And then finally our blades. So our main blade, here's sort of a spear point blade. That's good lockup on that as well. I'd say the pull's about a 6. And then the lockup, it just makes it into more like an 8. Just the lockup on Victorinox just kind of changes the pull and strength because they just lock up so well. There's a look at our tang stamp. Now this is just a modern one. I bought this knife in 2021, so it just says Victorinox, Swiss made, and then stainless on the bottom. And that kind of helps date the knife a little bit, but yeah, that tang stamp's been around for a little while now. All right, and finally you have the smaller blade, and it's just a little spear point blade. Pull on that, it's not as strong as the main blade. I'd say maybe about a 5. But you have a nice little lockup on that as well, so it stays in place, but really useful for smaller tasks. And if we look at the length of the secondary blade, it's about 1 3/4, and you have a cutting edge of about 1 1/2. On the main blade, you've got a total length of 2 3/4 inches with a cutting edge of about 2 3/8. So, very useful knife. Great for throwing in your camping bag or having one in the glove box or in your safety, you know, like your emergency repair kit or whatever you have. But it's a little thick for everyday carry in my opinion, but I know people that do carry this and it does have a lot of functionality. But if you're not offended by the width of it, which is about 3/4 of an inch when we look at it on the mat here, yeah, right about 3/4 of an inch. So it is a little bit thick, not particularly heavy. It's more the size that's the problem. But overall, I think this is the greatest value for a Swiss Army knife if you're just looking to get involved in learning more about these or exploring whether or not you'd like to carry one or how you might use it. But everybody knows about Swiss Army knives. They're very, very common. But I think this is probably the best value out there if you're just going to buy one particular knife and you're not bothered by the 4-layer design. You don't require anything smaller. But that's going to do it for my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell to be made aware of videos when they drop, and we'll see you next time. Take care.